What's up, guys? Today I am so excited. This is probably one of the mods that I am most excited about for the XSR700. This is a Xitomer rear tail tidy. So we're gonna finally get rid of that ugly ass big plastic thing hanging off the back. It's gonna make the bike just look so much cleaner, the lines better. As we all know, we love the tail tidies. You saw me do the tail tidies, 2 tail tidies on the Harley. Yeah, let's see what this one looks like on the XSR700. So let's go for it.
All right, so first things first, let's look at what comes in the box. So I got this on Amazon, and I'll go ahead and put a link in the description of where you can get it. Basically, this is the mounting bracket. This thing is pretty light. I think this is made out of aluminum. It's not heavy enough to be steel. And I actually like that. That'll lighten up the bike a little bit. So this is essentially going to mount under the fender. And we'll take a look at that later, but you get the actual bracket itself. You get the license plate light, and I have an adapter that we'll look at later that will connect this to the factory wiring harness without any splicing. We get some shrink wrap tubes. That's great. I got a ton of this stuff already, but hey, you can always use more. Got some cable ties, and of course we got the bolts and everything to put it all together. So that's it. Oh yeah, there. That's it. All right, let's go take the bike apart. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do is take the seat off, because everything we're going to need to get to is under the seat. So we'll pull this off, set that aside, and now we need to begin taking off a lot of these components. So we're going to start with this cover. Underneath this cover is where all the wiring harness stuff is. So I always recommend, if you're working on your Yamaha, you need a 4, a 5, and a 6 millimeter Allen. Just have them handy, because you're going to need one of these. And I'm willing to bet that these are, nope, then they're probably a 4. Yep, they're a 4. So let's start taking these guys off. Okay, so we've got everything open. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna disconnect all of the wires. So what we've got in here is we've got 2 brakes and 2 brakes, 1 license plate light, and then of course the tail light as well. So we're just gonna go ahead and disconnect these. Cool, so we got that done. Now the next thing we want to do is start taking off this whole rear fender. So we're going to start with these guys. Okay, so I kind of went ahead and, just to save time off camera, I kind of disassembled a lot of this up. But essentially there's 4 bolts right here, 5 actually if you count the middle one. You just essentially loosen those and you lift this off. Now something you're going to want to do is see these little rubber grommets here? These are actually in these 4 posts. You're going to need to remove those rubber grommets from the factory tail piece and put them on the new tail tidy. They go in like that. You are going to need the inserts, the metal inserts that go in there as well. So save those. You're going to put those in. Let me put this aside. Okay. So before we start marrying these 2 together, I went ahead and I grabbed the license plate light and I mounted that. That's the LED that lights up the plate. I put some shrink wrap around it just in the beginning for now. But what I want to go ahead and do before we assembled everything is I wanted to actually get these BL6s, these turn signals, installed. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And there's the other guy. Should be another one of these around here. Anyway, I'll find it. So let's do one of them. Now remember, the TST Industries from our other video needs to be facing up. So I believe that is going to be the left, or sorry, the right one, and the other one's going to be the left. So we're going to go ahead and take off our nut, our lock washer, and our regular washer, and we'll feed these guys through. Cool, done. Now we're going to want to take this plastic washer that comes with the BL6s. We're going to want to feed that through, and then we'll feed the wires through here like so. And then we'll flip this guy over and we'll feed these back through. So washer first, then the lock washer, and of course our nut. Cool, got those through. Now all we're gonna do right now is just snug these up. Nothing super tight, because we still want some play in here, because we're gonna adjust these things later. In fact, we'll probably adjust these once they're on the bike. But that's basically it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and we'll be right back. Okay, cool. So we got everything wired up. I got both the lights on. I got the wiring harnesses all together. I have the extensions on. So again, don't have to do any fancy connectors or anything. These just plug straight into the factory harness. So the next thing we got to do is we got to put this thing on the actual fender. So we're going to turn this upside down, and we are going to use small bolts, small spacers. Get these guys on here. And we're going to lay this guy in just like this. Couple of washers. And we're just going to hand tighten these now, just to keep them into place. So we can do the other side. Actually, this is a good time to do some wire routing as well. I'm going to get all these wires tucked underneath. All right, now big bolts, big spacer, other side, big bolt, big spacer, feed these guys in. Washer and a nut. All right, guys, and there we have it. Now let's go dry fit it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is dry fit this, just to make sure that everything lines up and goes together. So these aren't going to be on very tight. These are really just to make sure everything is okay. Okay guys, we got it back together. So, fed the wires in, connected all of them. Just as you disconnected them, you're going to reconnect them. You got to put the tool holder and the battery cover back on, and then this bracket back on that holds the seat. But yeah, pretty straightforward, not too hard to do. Again, like I always say in a lot of my videos, I think it probably took a lot longer recording this video and stuff than it did to actually put it on. So, but all in all, I think it looks freaking fantastic. So, looks a hell of a lot nicer. That is just awesome. So that about wraps it up for today, guys. I'll put a link in the description to this tail tidy, as well as the rear lights. I think you guys probably seen them all in the other video though, but yeah, it looks great, and it was dirt cheap. Amazon, Xitomer, I believe is the name. Anyway, I'll put all the info down there, but pretty easy install. Looks great. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like this video if you think it's cool. I'll check you all later. Ride safe. Bye-bye.